Welcome back to another explainer. Today, we're uncovering a hidden reality behind unexpected pharmaceutical manufacturing failures. For all of you focused learners out there, get ready, because we're stripping away the complex jargon and getting straight to the core mechanics of how quality actually works in the real world. We so often only see the end result of a process, but today, we're going completely behind the scenes. This is Thinking Ahead, the hidden mechanics of pharma quality.
Let me paint a quick picture for you. When we think about a great quality professional, it's so easy to picture a superhero rushing in, alarms blaring, scrambling to put out fires at lightning speed. We've all been there, right? The adrenaline rush of a rapid response, feeling like you totally saved the day at the very last second. But we need to shatter that myth right now. Quality in pharma is not about reacting fast. In fact, if your primary skill is constantly rushing to react to emergencies, your system is already behind. That fast-paced, urgent response, while sometimes necessary for sure, is actually a symptom of a much larger problem.
Okay, let's dive into this because this is where the paradigm completely shifts. It's about thinking ahead. True operational excellence isn't a sprint to fix what just broke. It is entirely about anticipating the future. It's a game of chess, not whack-a-mole. You have to see the board 3 moves ahead to ensure the safety and efficacy of the products you're manufacturing. Thinking ahead means you're designing the fireproof building rather than, just buying bigger fire hoses.
Which brings us to Section 1, the myth of sudden failure. I want you to conceptualize this using the classic iceberg model. When a massive failure hits the surface in our daily operations, maybe it's a critical audit finding or a severe batch rejection, it never just happens overnight. The visible panic is just the tip of the iceberg. Below the surface, that's where the silent villains live. Our source material makes this absolutely crucial point. Outcomes are rarely accidental. They're meticulously, quietly built over time. How? Well, through decisions made earlier that seemed perfectly fine at the time. Through patterns in the data that were completely ignored because everyone was just too busy. Through tiny signals that were missed by the team on the floor. And through systems that were just left unchanged despite shifting demands. These seemingly harmless, missed signals quietly compound. They stack up, one on top of the other in the shadows, building into an absolutely inevitable crisis.
Let's move on to Section 2, Anatomy of a Quality Breakdown.
I want you to take a second right now and think about your last major deviation, when a process went completely off script or maybe a really loud customer complaint. Seriously, bring it to mind. Think about the stress, the endless meetings, the absolute mountains of paperwork. And this brilliantly illustrates the divide. On one side, we have these visible issues, inspection failures, deviations, complaints. It's what the auditors see, right? It's what management sees. But on the flip side, lurking below the water are the hidden causes, unaddressed trends, and weak root cause analysis. This is the massive, dangerous base of the iceberg, completely unseen until it's far too late. The visible is really just a symptom of the hidden.
So what actually feeds these visible breakdowns? Well, it's unaddressed trends in your monitoring data. It's weak root cause analysis, where we just scratch the surface, blamed human error, and call it a day without digging any deeper. But worst of all, it's relying on temporary fixes instead of systemic CAPA, corrective and preventative actions. Relying on a quick bandage instead of a genuine systemic CAPA is literally setting a trap for your own future operations. Combine that with a lack of follow-through on effectiveness, meaning we didn't even bother to check if the bandage actually held, and you've basically baked failure right into your daily process.
Listen closely to this next point, which is a direct quote right from our source material. Quality failures don't appear suddenly, they develop over time. I'm going to say that one more time because it's that important. Quality failures don't appear suddenly, they develop over time. Let the immense weight of that sink in. By the time a problem finally breaches the surface and becomes visible to you, to the consumer, or to an inspector, it is already vastly more complex and expensive to fix. The roots have grown incredibly deep, intertwining with your standard operating procedures and your daily habits.
All right, Section 3. The proactive quality system.
This is the uplifting, solution-oriented playbook of how top-tier organizations actively tackle these invisible threats. Notice the fundamental mindset difference here? Reactive traits, like those temporary fixes we just talked about, or always waiting for an issue to escalate to a critical level before taking it seriously, working that way is absolutely exhausting. Now, look at the proactive traits, driving systematic CAPAs that actually solve the root issue and maintaining an absolute, unyielding focus on prevention. It's night and day.
It's the defining difference between merely surviving your manufacturing process and truly mastering it.
Let's move to and see how this builds into a reliable methodology for success. Step 1. Detect early signals. You have to be watching the data closely, actively looking for those minor drifts. Step 2. Act before issues escalate. When you see that slight drift, you don't wait for permission, right? You course correct immediately. Actually, scratch that. It's not just course correcting. Step 3 is where the magic happens. Build control right into the process itself. You engineer it so the error can't even physically occur in the first place. By following these highly structured steps from the source material, you start to realize that true quality isn't some happy accident. It's engineered, deliberate control from start to finish.
Which brings us to our final core concept, Section 4, the cost of yesterday.
Every choice you make or choose not to make today is effectively a down payment on your future quality outcomes. So the crucial point is this absolute mic drop thesis from our source material. What you see today is often the result of what was not addressed yesterday. It's a powerful, undeniable truth in pharmaceutical manufacturing. If you're dealing with a massive headache on the floor right now, chances are the warning signs were there days, weeks, or even months ago. You're paying the toll today for the bridge you didn't fix yesterday.
Which leaves us with a critical, thought-provoking question to ponder as we wrap up. What's one early signal you think organizations often ignore until it becomes a bigger issue? Is it a slight shift in a machine's calibration? A recurring, seemingly minor operator comment that just gets brushed off in meetings? Think about your own quality systems. Identify that signal and go fix it. Don't let those silent villains build up. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, exploring the hidden mechanics of pharma quality. Stay focused, stay proactive, and keep learning.